And this episode, we have my good friend Jimmy Fallon. I'm really excited about this one. Jimmy is such a great guy. He's had such a long career, starting back in SNL. Always a big talent. So humble. Really kind of I think just a transcending, guy in so many ways. And I don't think I've ever met anyone that doesn't like Jimmy. And he was fantastic.
Yes. I don't think he liked me. I actually think, you know what I need to do as a follow-up? I need to have a Presidente beer with Jimmy Fallon. And maybe be like, hey, let's just hang out. No cameras, no microphones. He didn't hate me, but I think
He'll need a lot of Presidentes for that.
I think a guy like that is around so many funny people. When he sees me, he's like, this guy thinks he's way funnier than he is. But yes, Presidente beer, our favorite beer. It is our sponsor for the Corp. If you are at the beach, your backyard, if you're sitting on the couch waiting for football season to start like I am, Presidente beer is the best with the title of Presidente Chairman. You know Alex knows this beer is a good bet. So what are you waiting for? Invest in your own refreshment now and grab DR's finest export wherever beers are sold near you. And for 4 lucky fans, we're giving away some amazing prizes. Presidente beer for a year, a signed baseball by yours truly and A-Rod, Presidente swag, and the Corp swag. Here's what you have to do to enter. You must be 21 plus, must follow A-Rod, at A-Rod Corp, at Presidente_USA on social media, and then text your name and why you should win to Alex's personal phone number, 305-690-0485. This beer is 100% Corp-certified and approved. When did you first meet Jimmy Fallon? When did you first go, interact with him?
Well, I've been a big fan forever, probably about 15 years ago. It was the first time I met him, probably visiting SNL or something like that.
How many times have you hosted SNL?
I haven't hosted. I've been on a few times.
Bad question by me.
It's okay.
It's okay. What the hell is Lorne Michaels thinking? Why haven't you hosted?
He's a smart guy.
How many times have you been on?
I've been on like 5 or 6 different skits. Okay. Excuse me. And we would always do things with the Yankees preseason to have a little fun. But yeah, about 4 or 5 times.
How? I'm a huge SNL fan, or I go if it comes and goes depending on the cast. But how, when you were involved in that, when you would do a skit, how electric was it? And is everyone basically like a mini Jimmy Fallon walking around being just the funniest guy?
Yes, a lot of humor, a lot of talent. Jimmy's just one of a kind. That he's funny, but he's also funny off camera. He's just a really sweet guy, and I'm a huge SNL fan. I mean, what Lorne Michaels has done there for the last 35 years has been unbelievable. But there is something really, really special being on set on SNL. If you haven't done it, please get out there and watch SNL and bring your Presidente with you.
Yes, absolutely. I think I mentioned this maybe beforehand to Jimmy before we started the show. But so we taped Jimmy Fallon. Again, it was right before. It was actually the first time I vividly remember people wearing masks and doing the pound instead of the handshake. So it was right before coronavirus. It was early March. We thought we were about to finish the season, and then coronavirus happened. But I mentioned to Jimmy beforehand, my son, who just turned 1, I bought his book, Jimmy Fallon's book, the Dada books, and his first word is Dada. So I had to give Jimmy Fallon a shout out for that. I appreciate that. He has a great children's books that if you are a new parent, go out and buy it because they're very, very funny. But that just kind of shows everything that Jimmy Fallon does. He does everything.
He does.
He's a man of many, many talents. So a great interview coming up with Jimmy Fallon. Before we do that, a quick word from our friends at Simply Safe. Simply Safe is the best home security company out there. Most places trap you with high prices, tricky contracts, and lousy customer support. So while there are a lot of options out there, there's only one no-brainer, Simply Safe. Simply Safe's got everything you need to protect your home with none of the drawbacks of traditional home security. It's got an arsenal of sensors and cameras to blanket every room, window, and door, tailored specifically for your home. I'd imagine you have great home security, A-Rod, so people need to get on your level with Simply Safe, right?
You have to be safe. And in this environment, you can't be safe enough. And more people are spending more time, that's what the data says, at home.
Yes.
So be safe.
So be safe at home. Professional monitoring keeps watch day and night, ready to send police, fire, or medical professionals if there's an emergency. You can set it up yourself in under an hour. Just peel and stick the sensors exactly where you need them. No technician required, and there's no contract. No pushy sales guys. No hidden fees, no fine print. All this starts at $15 a month. I'm not the only one who thinks Simply Safe is great. U.S. News and World Report named it the best overall home security of 2020. Try Simply Safe today at simplysafe.com/corp. You get free shipping and a 60-day risk-free trial. There's nothing to lose. That's simplysafe.com/corp. Simplysafe.com/corp. You get a free shipping and a 60-day risk-free trial. Nothing to lose. Like I said, simplysafe.com/corp.
And now, Jimmy Fallon.
You're listening to The Corp, presented by Barstool Sports.
Okay, we now welcome on to The Corp. Long overdue, but he's finally here. It is Jimmy Fallon, host of Late Night with Jimmy Fallon, A-list celebrity. You know him from SNL. You know him from Late Night with Jimmy Fallon. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for being. I'm happy to be here and be on this side of the couch with the interview. I hope it's worth it. I'm hoping funny and because this is I want to score.
And
this is what
we'll give you a score. You've always have. How many times has A-Rod been on your show?
10 times.
At least,
something like that.
And I've never been invited.
Yeah,
I've never been invited, but that's fine. No big deal. But you're here now. You're in our court.
You gotta have goals, man.
We want to talk about everything. We're gonna get to a million different questions, but let's start at the beginning because I was doing a lot of research before this interview, and by that I mean I was reading your Wikipedia. And
thank you for also writing my Wikipedia.
Yes, yes. I was editing, selective editing. I was struck by the singular focus that you seem to have, basically from 5 years old, that you wanted to be on SNL. You talked about how when you blew a birthday cake, you made a wish and said, I want to be on SNL.
It's true.
And you got to that point. I want to first talk about not getting it. So doing the audition and failing, and then doing the audition and obviously getting it. So when you failed the first time, was it at all deterring of your skill, where you're going, the path to success?
It's definitely depressing. It's when you don't when it's your dream gets kind of shot down. I remember I was at the comic strip here in New York City, and which I've only maybe performed once before that, and I was with a manager at the time who was great, and she was like, "Don't be nervous. You're just gonna do." I think it was 3 minutes of stand up. So if any stand up comedian knows, 3 minutes is tough to get a control of the audience, and end up crushing at the end. And, so I did mostly impressions at the time. That's all I wanted to do, is I wanted to be the next Dana Carvey. So I had to come up, and my act at the time was a troll doll, and I would do different celebrities doing a commercial for the troll doll. So I would do, Seinfeld going like, what kind of doll is this? Who does his hair? You can't even move his arms. Who would play with this doll? He doesn't even have any pants on. No pants for this doll, and whatever. And so I did something around that, and no one had any idea what I was talking about or what I was doing. I didn't set up the bit at all, and I just remember it was just being depressing. And then I just remember going on stage and coming right off, and I was so flop sweat hot from flopping that I think steam was coming off of me. And when I got off, I was like, oof. And I remember there was a diner next door, and it was really like a depressing. We had a coffee, and I just sat there, and she's like, look, this is not the worst thing. I think you did okay. I mean, at least they got to see what you look like. And, Lauren was there. I go, was he there? She goes, yeah, he was there. And, it just felt bad. And I go, oof. And I went back to Los Angeles because at the time I was living in L.A. With roommates trying to take acting lessons and groundlings classes. So I was trying to learn improv, because what someone told me once is if you're a stand-up comedian, you should take acting lessons and improv classes so you can learn how to work with other people, because you're so used to being on stage by yourself. So it's like, okay, so I was doing that. I had really no money, and I would use whatever money I had from either doing a college gig or the improv. If you did a set at the improv, it was $7.25 a gig.
And this is what, 1997?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say it was 96, 97. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Jimmy, we're going to get to Lauren in a minute because he's such an amazing guy and leader and a friend of all of ours. You have so many fans out there, young men, young women, that want to be funny and want to have a career in comedy. But it's hard and it's difficult and it's challenging and depressing at times. My question to you is, what will you tell a young listener if you want to be funny? You talked about 3 minutes or whether it's 12 minutes. What are 3 or 4 things that are must-dos for a young comedian?
I mean, you have to know your fans. That being said, my mom was my biggest fan, so I knew if I told the joke, she would laugh. That makes you feel good. It builds your confidence. So you got to know your audience. I think I wouldn't be, where I am without my mother like supporting me and going, "Oh, Jimmy, go over and do a joke. Listen to him do it. He does Rodney Dangerfield. Go do Rodney Dangerfield." And they're like, "All right, okay. My wife's cooking so bad. Since when does toast have bones?" And I would do all this. I would do his whole routine. I was probably 12 or 11. They'd give me like 50 cents or $1. And so she loved it. And my dad loved it too. My grandparents are very supportive people. So, I mean, they really helped me and gave me the confidence. In fact, my mom told me about this contest that changed my whole career. There was a contest on the radio. K104 was the station, and they said, like, "We're looking for the funniest person in the Hudson Valley. So if you can do an impression of someone, you have 2 minutes or 3 minutes to do an impression of anyone. You'd be the funniest man in the Hudson Valley." And so I said, my mom goes, she knocked on my door. She goes, "Jimmy, I think you should join this contest. Because I go by your room all the time, and I hear all the voices you do." I go, "You hear everything in my bedroom?" It's like, "Yeah." I go, "Uh-oh. What else are you?" I go, "All right, well," I go, "All right, maybe I'll join this contest." So I entered this contest. I was 17 at the time, and I was a senior in high school. I was always joking around with kids in my class, and I was always the class clown and the comedian. I loved comedy and loved Saturday Night Live so much. So someone had given me a troll doll for graduation. They had it was a doll with a graduation cap. That's all it was. So like, "Happy graduation." I go, What is it? What is a 16-year-old boy going to do with this thing? I have no idea what a 16-year-old girl would do with it. I don't know what anyone would do with this. You put it on your desk, or I don't even have a desk.
Troll dolls were weird too.
I
just to interject. People who are listening probably don't even know what they are. They're like, a troll doll. They think of trolls on Twitter. It was actually a doll with different hair. There were just trolls, and people for some reason decided in the 90s it was cool.
Yeah,
keep going. Yeah,
they made they made a cartoon, Trolls.
Yeah,
a
right.
whole movie based out of it, but it was it's like, I don't know if people made wishes on them, but you could mess them around their hair. I don't know. Either way, I had this thing, and I go, maybe I can use this for my act. So I started doing different impressions of people talking about the doll. I kind of started writing out a whole material. So I would do like Bullwinkle and go like, "Well, hey, why don't you look at," I was doing that. And I did, I think I had John Travolta. I was going like, "I can't believe this doll, right? Like, I mean, look at this thing over here, like his hair. Like, what you got, don't hit the hair. I can't, Sandy." And I would do something like that, and I worked out like maybe 15 impressions. And so at the time, Pee Wee Herman was big. And so I said something about, "I like to play with myself too." Something about play with myself.
Ooh, that joke ended up being.
It was topical.
Yeah.
At the time.
Yeah.
Edgy.
Yes.
Topical.
Yes.
See a 16-year-old kid come out there and hit homers like that. You go,
Yes.
Come on. Anyways, I won the contest. It was $700, I want to say. It's
Nice.
most money I've ever gotten in my lifetime for 3 minutes of comedy. And I go, if this is this easy,
Right.
I'm going to be a billionaire. This is the best thing in the world. Cut to, I never made that money ever again until, Saturday Night Live. But you get excited, and I was like, oh, this is amazing. So I went home that night, and I was so happy. My friends from my school came out to see me in the comedy club, and I still have it on videotape, and I was just so nervous. And I remember just like, I just thought it was the best. I thought it was going to be easy from then on out. And I started just joining a bunch of talent contests and talent competitions, and I think I did 2 more after that. I won another one, and then I came in second to another one. A girl who played the piano, amazing, beat me. Her name's Alicia Keys.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding.
That would have been awesome.
No, you don't hear about it. I don't know what her name was. But not only did I win the $700, but I also won an MC job at the club in Poughkeepsie. So at the time, I couldn't even drive. I didn't have my driver's license. So my dad would drive me to the club every weekend, and I would MC, welcome everyone to the club, also work on my act, and introduce all these comedians. And I had, like, looking back, Kevin James I used to work with, and Louis Black was great. And I got to meet all these comedians and see their act, and it was cool. It was like a really interesting thing for a 16-year-old kid to do. And I was there like every weekend just working at my act and trying to add different jokes. And, a lot of it was bad, but it was still working on my act.
A lot of pressure.
Yeah, and getting out there, I'm sure, like
just
repetition and...
Yeah, and some of the jokes were just so bad. But then I remember I went off to college, and when I was in college, I started adding more to the act, musical impressions. So I had a guitar, I knew how to play guitar, so I'd add musical impressions of the troll dolls at the end of my act. So I did celebrities at the beginning of my act, troll dolls at the end. So that would be another piece of advice for comedians. Have a beginning and have an end. The middle, you'll figure out the middle. At least you got to have a closer. It's good to have an opener so people kind of get to know who you are, and you got to have a closer that crushes.
Right.
Close.
Right.
So you got to close finish, yeah.
So you do all this. You obviously have this goal your entire life, getting on SNL. You finally get it. When you do get it, was there a feeling of I've made it, like I'm good, or how quickly were you like, all right, I need to, actually stick around and make this work and reach my next goal? Because we always talk to people, and the really successful people, when they hit that first goal, it just makes them hungrier for more.
I think at the time I was good. I was
Yeah.
like, this is it, man.
Yeah, because that's a
my
natural
dream.
feeling.
I remember taking a picture of the elevator to my audition of the second audition for SNL because I go, I might never come back in this building.
Right.
This is awesome. And even if I don't get this, I get to tell my kids, hey, your dad once auditioned for Saturday Night Live. I mean,
Right.
It's pretty good right there, So I really do. I had one of those disposable cameras that the Kodak ones that you'd have to put into CVS and then wait for them to come back. And so I remember doing that audition. And it was the most nerve-wracking one yet. You go into the room and they go, are you Jimmy Fallon? Who's Jimmy Fallon? I go, that's me. They go, yeah, okay, well, you're up next. Don't be nervous, but just to let you know, Lorne doesn't really laugh. Talking about Lorne Michaels.
Oh, wow.
He doesn't really laugh, so just don't let that throw you. Because there's only like 5 people in the room. You're in 8H, which you've been many times. No audience, just 4 people, and they're beaming you to Burbank, to California, so the president of the network can watch you as well.
Wow.
It's a lot of pressure.
Right.
So I go, okay. So then someone's like, hey, you got to go into hair and makeup. I'm like, makeup? I mean, never put makeup on. I go, okay, great. So I go into hair and makeup. This guy's like, so you're Jimmy Fallon? I go, yeah. He goes, well, good luck. I think you're going to be great, but just, Lorne doesn't really laugh. And I go, okay. That's great. Thanks for the advice. I just heard that. So then I go in, right about to go on. They put a microphone on under your shirt and they put a clip on the top so they can, with a mic pack so that everyone can hear you. And he goes, are you Jimmy Fallon? I go, yeah, this is great. Well, good luck to you. And just remember, I don't know if anyone told you, but Lorne doesn't really laugh. I go, yeah, I heard. Lorne, I go, what's his problem? He's in the wrong business. It's a comedy show. What's this guy's problem? So anyways, I got on stage and I did kind of my troll act. I didn't do the troll act, but I changed it to like a celebrity walkathon where I was doing different celebrities walking for charity. And I did, again, Seinfeld and Travolta, but I added at the end, my closer, I think, was Sandler. Mm-hmm. And this is just at the time when Adam Sandler just had left the show. He was supposed to go on for one more season, but he was getting really famous. And so I had an impression of Sandler. And I remember I was going like, all right, it's just so good to be here, shut up, this whole bit. And Lorne started laughing. And
that was it.
Well, he put his head in his hand, and I go, wow, I made Lorne Michaels laugh. And the rest was like slow motion. I was like kind of walking out like, wow. I was like, you're just coming off the field. I was like, there he goes.
I got a Lorne question because, I have so much admiration for him. And I know he's been a big mentor and supporter of yours.
Yeah.
So first of all, what has he meant in your career? And what are 2 or 3 things that make him such a special businessman, so disciplined?
He's meant everything to me. I mean, honestly, I've seen... he's seen me at my best and my craziest too. I mean, when you get famous, it's weird because there's no playlist. There's no book that you could read and go like, oh, this is how you become famous. You do this, then that, then this, then that. It's like you're like, and I remember at one point I said to my agents, I said, don't send me any more movies where I have to be funny. I don't want to be funny in a movie. I only want to do Westerns. They were like, dude, what? I go, I don't want to read any romantic comedies, man. I don't want to be anyone's boyfriend or the thing. I only want to be in, don't even send it to me. I'll just pass. I just want to do Westerns. And they go, what world are you living in? They don't make Westerns anymore. Like, what? I guess. So they never sent me anything, but I was so dumb in my head thinking that would be I always wanted to get shot off a horse. I don't know why.
I mean, it's pretty cool.
John
I agree.
I just think it's cool to do that. So, but they weren't making those things at the time. So but I mean, I was getting offered meet the parents, all this stuff, but I wasn't even reading the scripts because I was like, I don't want to do this.
It's not a Western.
It's not if there's a horse in it, I'll consider it, And now I look back, I'm like, I was such a punk. I mean, what was I doing? But Lorne would kind of talk me, off the ledge and all this stuff, and he just had a clear vision. He was just, I don't know if he's just calmer than anyone I think I've ever met. And I think if you have that calm, cool. Like it's gonna be like I already know what you should be doing. I know the right moves.
Is it discipline? I mean, he just seems like he's a machine.
He's seen it. I mean, he's been a writer, he's been a performer, and then he's been a producer for all these years. And not just Saturday Night Live. He's produced Kids in the Hall. He's produced stand-up specials. He's produced 30 Rock. They're all different writers, different people, different producers. He's worked with thousands of people and knows their egos. And he did a play on Broadway. You know, how tricky it is to pull a play off. It's so much work.
Right.
And I remember one time we did SNL and something fell off the wall, like a painting fell off the wall, and some crew guy was like, Lauren, what are we going to do? The painting is off the wall. There's no way we can get the wall up. And Lauren goes, just put a sheet over it. The sheet will work. And they're like, oh, okay. And they put a sheet over it. It was fine. No one worried about it.
So what about you breaking character on SNL? Would he get mad? Because he notoriously doesn't like that. And I've read that you also were mad at yourself when it would happen. But you also probably knew after a few times, like, this is genuinely funny because people love to see other people laugh.
It wasn't even that. Like I was laughing because I was laughing at the sketch. Lauren does not like that. He frowns on it. And so I was embarrassed that I would do it. But it was the first one that I laughed at myself was Cowbell. And it was a sketch that Will Ferrell wrote with Adam McKay. And it was about Blue Oyster Cult. Don't feel the that song. And it's like there actually is cowbell in that song.
Yeah.
So I think someone thought that was funny because they're kind of a heavy metal band. To have a cowbell, an instrument in your classic songs, like, wait, is there a cowbell in Don't Fear the Reaper? So then we should do a whole sketch about how the producer would come in and go like, that was fine, stop. But I kind of want more cowbell in the song. That would really make this a real classic. So they wrote this thing, and it was funny, but it wasn't that funny, to be honest. And so as much to say that it barely made it to air. It was going to get cut after Dress, and Christopher Walken was the host. Horatio Sands was in it. Chris Parnell was in it, and Chris Kattan. And I was playing the drums. And so I was brand new. This is probably my first couple weeks on the show. And I thought it'd be really cool that no one would think to do is to hit the sticks before we started lip syncing the song. So it goes like, and I go like, then start lip syncing. I'm like, oh, it's like a reel, but it's not. It's like I'm not really lip syncing like that. That was that's all I really kind of cared about. This is like I was happy I had any line. I had one line in the sketch, and then Will Ferrell he's the funniest man in the world. Everybody in that sketch was funnier than I was, and I remember feeling out of my league and going, I don't know if I can play with these guys. They're too good. And Will had a shirt that kind of ended here. It was really short. And every time he put his hands up to hit the cowbell, his belly would hang at the bottom.
Muffin top, yeah.
Oh, yeah, and he had like a scar. He had like his appendix taken out or something. So it was hairy, and it used to just make me laugh. And then when we did Air, he wore a smaller shirt. So when he lifted his thing up, it was like wearing a tube top. Like, it was like insane. His whole gut was out, and he's dancing, and he was sweating at the time because he was going for it. On Air, everyone went for it. Christopher Walken wasn't even talking like Christopher. He was doing like an impression of himself. He was going like, "You know, we got to have more cowbell." And then like it was like, wow. It was like we were in outer space. The whole place was spinning, man. It was and it was hot because everyone was laughing so much. The whole room got hot, and I remember going like, "Oh my God, this is the funniest thing I've ever been part of." And then when I had my one line, Kattan and Will like wrestled and did something, pushed each other, and Kattan knocked Will's sunglasses off, and he looked at me, and I saw like, the eyes of a crazy man, it's like looking at Charles Manson or something. I was like, and I just started laughing, and that was my only line in the whole sketch, and then I was the guy that laughed at his stuff.
So was Lauren mad about that? Because I always find when someone laughs in a sketch that funny, it makes it funnier for the audience, at least from my perspective, because it's almost breaking like that fourth wall. Like, hey, this is so ridiculous and funny that even I can't stop myself from laughing.
He might be calmer now with it, but he didn't like it at the time.
Really? Did he yell, or was it just a stern?
No, he never
talking to
yells.
Yeah.
He would probably like, keep it together next time. It's like, there's something that, yeah, exactly. And I was like, I knew it. I knew I messed up. But then like, everyone knew right there that I was kind of an easy laugh.
Right.
So, I mean, especially Will would do it all the time. But, Molly would play with me a lot. Molly knew that she could make me laugh. But we were in a sketch called Lavas, where I would be a guy who would go in a random hot tub at a hotel and just try to relax. And then 2 creeps would come in and sit in the hot tub with me. Like, that would ever happen. It's a tiny hot tub.
Yeah.
So Will and Rachel Dratch were 2 creepy people, and they'd sit, and he'd bring like a turkey leg in with him and stuff, and like eat the turkey in the hot tub. And they were creepy people. And like, ooh, we make love.
Yes.
We make love all the time. Have you ever tried to make, and then every time I opened my mouth, he would pinch me under the water. He'd pinch my leg and make me laugh because he knew I was going to laugh at him. And honestly, even to this day, he's the funniest guy ever. I remember, though, we did a Weekend Update once where me and Tina did update, and he did Jacob Silge, which is this character who suffered from a rare disease called voice immodulation, where he couldn't change the tone of his voice. He couldn't go up or down. He just stayed at the same volume, and he couldn't modulate or have any expression of his voice. So he'd do this character all the time, and I was laughing so hard when the camera wasn't on me that Will would watch, he would see me laughing and shaking, that he started laughing, but he couldn't break, and his eyeglasses fog up. I've never seen it done in history. Dude, never seen it happen ever. He was crying, laughing through the steam coming out of his eyeball.
Yes.
And it's on his best of, by the way. You can see Jacob Silge, and I was like, that was because I was right next to him laughing so hard. But, Lauren would just say, like, hey, don't do that, and I tried not to do it. I'm better at it now, but I see people do it now, and I go, oh, I was there. And the writers don't appreciate it, and they think like you're taking away.
Trying to upstage everyone, but
yeah, I really was. I just actually thought it was funny.
yeah, and I appreciate that because I think laughing at it makes it funnier.
But I remember Lauren saying to me, like, because Colin Quinn was leaving Update, and Lauren said, do you want to do? I think you should host Weekend Update.
Because you were going to leave SNL, right? You were thinking about it at least.
Yeah.
This is halfway through, so 3 years in, and you were thinking about. I did read your Wikipedia, and you were thinking about leaving, and he offered you Weekend Update, right?
I was a big fan of John Belushi, and he only was on Saturday Night Live for 3 seasons. Chevy Chase, interesting, only on for 1 season.
Wow.
Yeah, but he was so dynamic that everyone remembers. Oh, Saturday Night Live, Chevy Chase. Also, he said his name probably as well. But but anyways, I was like, I'm gonna split when like Belushi did. So I go, I'm out of here. And Lauren's like, first of all, you have a contract, so you're not getting it. Second of all, he goes, I think you should do Update. And I go, I don't know, man. I'm like, I don't think I want that much attention. I really like being in the background scoring, and then that was good. I don't know if I can carry a whole thing, with the cameras on me that long. And he goes, well, I think you'd be good because you're young. People know who you are. And I think young people are interested in the news. I go, but I'm not really interested in the news. Like, I kind of know what's going on in the news, but I read like USA Today because it's in color. That's where I was at the time. He's like, we'll have writers. We'll help you out. So I go, yeah, I'm going to pass. Sorry, buddy. I love you, but I'm out. He's like, okay. So they had an audition for everyone to host Weekend Update. For everyone in the cast auditioned. And so I didn't really even pay attention to it. I was just doing my own thing, and I just wanted to stick to playing the guitar and doing bits. And then I think someone said to me, like, hey, did you see the auditions for Update? I go, no. They go, you should watch Tina Fey's. I go, Tina? Who was a writer at the time, who I loved. She wrote all this stuff for me. But Tina auditioned? She's like, I remember she was working on some bit. They go, dude, watch this. And I watched it, and I'm like, wow, she is a superstar, dude.
Wow.
She crushed it. She had a joke about Britney Spears and how she should really take care of her ass because one day it will go away and it will fade. But right now it is perfect. She has the perfect butt. She's like, look at this. She goes, look how hot it is. She's like, you should rub it with oils and liniments. And she goes, you have to look at it. I remember the joke I laughed. She goes, you have to look at her butt through a hole in a paper plate. Which is how you look at it in Eclipse when you're in grade school. Anyways, I remember laughing. I go, oh my God, that was great, Tina. That's awesome. She was like, thanks. And I think at the time, Lauren was like, she was great, but no one knows who she is. I don't know. I'm not sure if I could just throw her in. Like, oh, she's taking over Weekend Update. I go, what if we co-hosted, like guy and girl? Like, he's like, they've done that before with Dan Aykroyd and Jane Curtin. So I go, let's try it. So we went to Conan O'Brien's studio at the time. Right here where I am. And we had a table set up, and Tina and I did a fake Weekend Update. We tried different sides of the desk to see, and the chemistry was there. It was right there, and it was like, it wasn't boyfriend-girlfriend chemistry. It was more like brother-sister, or like smart girl and like doofy dude that like needs answers to the homework. It's like, so that's kind of was our dynamic. Yeah. And it was just fun, and I remember like us laughing and like supporting each other. It was really great, and we tried it, and that just took off since day one. It was like, it worked. Yeah.
Next Jimmy, your show, the Jimmy Fallon show, my question is, do you still have guests that you get a little excited, a little nervous because you may not know them so well, but you're a big fan? And then the follow-up is there someone out there or a few people that you're dying to have on your show but you've never had?
I was nervous having you on for the first time. Dude, let me tell everyone the story if you don't know this. Everyone listening to the podcast here. I'm a big fan of A-Rod for years. And I was on probably late night, I want to say, is when or maybe SNL when I first started seeing you.
Yeah.
SNL.
Yeah.
And then late night, I think I made a couple jokes about you. If I did, I take it back. It was all in good fun. You were single at the time. It was.
Yeah, say the couple.
I would never say
They
that
were
at this
funny.
point.
They were
All
funny.
right.
Funny.
Take it easy, Jimmy.
I would go to the game. And Lauren had these great seats right behind home plate. And I'd sit with Lauren, have a beer, watch the game, and everyone would come out, and I know the team at this point, and they'd come out and give me a little nod. They have to be very discreet. Probably, Steinbrenner's probably say, hey, don't wave at the celebrities.
Exactly.
So no one, but Lauren gets special treatment. Again, because we're there all the time. We know everybody. So Jeter would come out, and he wouldn't look at anybody, but he'd glance over to me and give me a little nod. And then Alice would come out, and I go, hey, Rod, scream it, and he would just stare at me like he wants to fight me. And there's a cloth or whatever it is,
the net.
There's a netting between me and him, so I don't get hit with the foul ball because my face is too pretty. And he would stare at me and swing his bat as hard as he possibly could. And I'm like, what is his problem? At me? Was he looking at someone behind me? Like, what? But then you would go up and you hit home runs. So I think I was the reason for your great career.
Yeah.
Good luck, Charm.
At least a few home runs.
Have you ever been back to the stadium as a fan? Could you ever go and watch the game?
Yeah, last year, early in the season, I took the entire family. We had Jen and the 4 kids, and it was, it was awesome. Plus, Jen's from the Bronx. I mean, we're Yankees.
Were you in a suite or in the seats?
We were in the suite, but then the kids are driving us crazy. Get down there. So we were right behind Lauren's seats.
You did?
And we had 6 seats there, and it was just awesome. It was surreal. It was so cool.
I was going to say, I wanted to go with you. Would you ever go to a game?
We should go this year. We definitely should go.
Yeah, I'll go.
Me, you, and Lauren.
Let's go. Me and Lauren. Let's do it again.
Lauren. Yeah, all 4 of us.
Right?
3's a weird number to go.
No, I think we stick with 3.
Usually buy tickets in 4.
3 is a magic number.
So I'll sit behind you guys. So, all right.
You go wherever. You tweet us from where you are, though.
Yeah. No, I'll do
experience.
it. Yeah, that'll be fine. I'll be in the bleachers.
Wherever you go, it's fine. You stay home. Just let us know you're having fun. We want to make sure you're having fun.
Yeah, I'll let you guys know I'm having fun.
Be safe. I want you to be safe.
We're going to get back to more Jimmy Fallon in a second, but I want to talk to you guys quickly about our friends at Cross Country Mortgage. Cross Country Mortgage is the best mortgage company in the world. I used to actually work in real estate. Mortgage is a scary word for a lot of people, but it doesn't have to be when you use Cross Country Mortgage. Why? Because Cross Country Mortgage is a people-first mindset with dedication to the fundamentals of mortgage lending, which result in a fast, easy, and stress-free home financing experience. A personalized approach of assessing individual needs to recommend the best loan option for each customer has allowed Cross Country Mortgage to serve their communities and forge lifelong relationships since 2003. Like I said, a lot of people think of the word mortgage and they're like, I'm not ready for that. I don't have enough money. Well, maybe you do. And maybe you should stop renting and buy a home and start building your own equity. Make your wealth with your home and use Cross Country Mortgage. It's super easy. You can call up and they will help you step by step get through it. They have license in all 50 states and offer a broad portfolio of traditional and niche loan products. When people want to buy a home or refinance their current loan, they want it done quickly, and guess what? Cross Country Mortgage does that. They deliver fast closings with a highly efficient process. In most cases, underwriting is complete in 24 hours or less. That's incredible. And they partner with top vendors to offer the best technology without the big price tag and pass those efficiencies and cost savings along to the customer. Cross Country Mortgages puts their customers first by giving you the tools and resources of loan officers to succeed with their own offices. You got to check them out. Like I said, it's super easy. If you just go online right now, ccmlens.com/corp. That's ccmlens.com/corp. You can find out if you're ready to buy a home. And it is super easy process. It's not daunting. You're probably thinking to yourself, I don't want to go in there. I don't want to get told no. Well, that's not what Cross Country Mortgage does. They will talk to you like a person. They will have someone assigned to you and figure out exactly what loan works best. You would be shocked how many people can qualify for a mortgage right this second. So go to ccmlens.com/corp to learn more about your future home buying experience. That's ccmlens.com/corp to learn more. Cross Country Mortgage LLC, NMLS 3029, Equal Housing Opportunity. Go to crosscountrymortgage.com for licensing and disclosures. Okay, here he is, Jimmy Fallon. Back to late night. So you transitioned from SNL to movie career, and then, well, actually, I want to ask you this.
Thank you.
When you leave SNL,
Yeah.
was there a fear that, like, okay, this is what people know me as, and now I'm going out into the wilderness, even though it was probably time? Was there that fear, like, hey, what if I don't have it? Like, what if I'm not the guy I think I am because I'm leaving SNL?
Yeah, of course. I mean, looking back, what I probably would have done is probably done a couple more movies before I left Saturday Night Live so people can actually like, oh, he can carry a movie. Instead, what I did was I left before the movies came out. So I left. I had one movie like ready to go, Taxi, and then I was gearing up for Fever Pitch, and neither one of them did well in the box office.
I loved it.
Now they're going. Now they're kind of they've aired so many times on TV that's kind of like a cult classic. People go,
Yeah.
oh, dude, that was a good movie, and I go, I didn't try to make a bad movie, but at the time it did not work.
Yeah.
We didn't come in. I mean, we didn't make money either one. I remember I knew Taxi was going to flop because. And I love Queen Latifah, and I had the best time doing it. Tim Story, who went on to do a crazy amount of movies, he still is crushing it. I remember going to my hometown, and I said to my mom and dad, I go, I'm going to go to the Orpheum, the movie theater where we used to see my first movie. And I'm going to go in and tell the audience, hey, I grew up here, and I wouldn't be who I am without you guys, my hometown. So I want to treat everyone's tickets, everyone's popcorn on me, and I hope you enjoy the movie, and I love you guys. And they go, that's so great. So I drive to my hometown, and I drive down the street to my theater, and it's now playing 3 movies. It's a big theater now. I go, oh my gosh. I walk in, not one theater is playing my movie. I go, are you kidding me? So now I'm mad. Now I want to throw a brick through the window. Like,
Right.
hey, dude, you have one kid from your hometown that's in a movie, and you don't play his movie? Like, that should be a rule.
Right.
And so I was so bummed out. I go, oh my gosh. And then I go, oh, it's not going to work. And I was in the middle of doing Fever Pitch at the time, and then but that was another amazing experience in itself.
So that time period where you're trying to find yourself as like a carrying a movie, A-list celebrity, like was there that doubt that like, am I gonna what's the next move if it doesn't work out? Because I left SNL, you can't go back to SNL.
No, not
I don't
at
think
all.
anyone has. Yeah,
It's scary, because you go, well, I mean, although I'm appreciative, I had a good run, it was fun. But you go, I'm still young, I'm too young to just stop. So I mean, I could do stand up, I think it was my now wife who told me like just start writing songs and like just start putting songs, because YouTube was kind of new at the time. She goes, put songs on YouTube, and so I was like, all right. So I wrote a song called "Car Wash for Peace." It was going to be bake sale for peace. It was just like people raising really no money for world peace. And so I thought that would be funny. And I was like, let's have a car wash for peace. There's trouble in the Middle East. And the song still holds up.
hell yeah,
Yeah.
hell yeah,
Still made no money, but no one didn't really catch on Car Wash for Peace. But it's a good jam.
yeah.
And so I did that. And then... what happened was I was leaving. Here's where it comes back to Lorne being awesome. I was leaving SNL, and Lorne goes, all right, so you're going to go? I go, yeah, I'm going to do movies, I guess. I don't know what I'm going to do. He's like, well, would you ever want to host a talk show? I go, I guess. I don't know. What do you mean? He's like, Conan O'Brien just signed some deal where he's leaving in 6 years or something. He's going to take over The Tonight Show, and Jay Leno's leaving. He goes, but you could take over for Conan. I go, I don't know if that would be my thing. And Tina Fey was in the office. She was like, that'd be great. You're Irish. You like go to bars all the time and talk to people. Like that's totally up your alley. You don't shut up when we're at after parties and stuff. Like that's exactly what you should. I go, I don't know, man. Well, we'll see. Cut to 6 years later, Lorne calls me. He's like, hey, remember I brought that thing up to you like a while back? Like, would you ever want to host a talk show? And I go, yeah. I mean, I have to ask my wife now because I'm married. Like, this is cool. But so I asked Nancy, and she was like, you have to. Even if you don't succeed, you're on a great list. You're David Letterman, Conan O'Brien, and then you.
Wow.
That's 3 people.
Yeah.
You got to do it. Just try it. I go, all right, but we might have to move to New York. She's like, I'll do it. And she was based in L.A. She's a producer with Drew Barrymore. They started Flower Films. They did all the Charlie's Angels movies.
Wow.
Donnie Darko, they did. She was doing great, and she was like, I don't care. Let's go. I'll support you.
That's so cool.
Wow.
Moved to New York.
Way to go, Nancy.
I know, dude. I lucked out.
Rock star.
I really lucked out. You know, it was funny. I was thinking I had the last year was my 45th birthday. I want to say it was last year, and I went September 19th is my birthday. I was born in Brooklyn, and my favorite singer is Paul McCartney. So I go see Paul McCartney's playing Barclays in Brooklyn, New York, on my birthday.
Come on.
September 19th, I go, this is the best. So I go with Lauren and Nancy.
Yes.
We're sitting there and watching the thing, and Paul McCartney goes, it's anyone's birthday tonight. I go, Jimmy, don't get a big head. There's no way he's going to mention you. There's thousands of people here. Stop. He's like, yes, it's your birthday. And everyone's clapping. Woo! I'm like, just zone out. Think of anything else because he's not going to mention you. Don't be disappointed. He's still your idol. He's so cool. He's like, how about Jim? Is Jim out there? I go, he's not. He's not saying me. He's like, and then he covered his eyes like, Jim Fallon? Is it Jim? It's Jim Fallon's birthday. There it is there. And I'm like, what is going on? He's like, this one's for you. And played birthday.
Wow.
For me.
That's so cool.
And I remember saying to myself, if my 15-year-old self could see me sitting with my idol, my mentor, Lorne Michaels, and that I married really a really beautiful girl, like amazingly gorgeous girl, and Paul McCartney is singing happy birthday to me, he'd be like, wrap it up, dude.
It's over.
It's totally over. Just go go live in a yurt somewhere and just like give up, man. Just like I was like, it really was special, and I was like, that was it. That was a great moment.
Jimmy, a lot of people don't realize how hard you work, right? They see you every night on TV is an hour. They're like, oh, he's went to play golf all day today, played 36. Walk us through a day in the life of Jimmy. I mean, starting in the morning, nutrition, workouts. Walk us through it.
All right. I'm changing my nutrition now, by the way. I'm on a whole new thing. I'm getting this food delivery service. That's like the new jam.
Yeah.
So Alan Campbell, I want to say is his name. He was Tom Brady's personal chef for a while. I think he's branching out. I don't even know if he's doing this or just, I don't know. I reached out to him, and I think he's starting a business.
Okay.
But it's great. So basically
It is now.
It is now. Yeah. My kids wake me up freaking 3:30 in the morning for it sometimes.
Wow.
I just put them in bed with me. They're at 6 and 5 right now. Mm-hmm. So they hop into bed with us and they wake me up. And I can tell what time of the morning is by when they turn in the bed and when their feet are hitting me in the face. And I go, so I usually get up probably around 7 with them and go down, make breakfast with Nancy. And then I take them to school at 8:15. So then I'm clear at around 8:30. And then I try to work out for a half hour in my house. That being said, it's been a year. I've done it 10 times.
That's okay.
I actually had to move boxes off my treadmill and clothing. I go, I should use this thing. It's a pretty nice treadmill. I get it. I understand it's good for you, but like I can't even put the sneakers on or sweatpants on. I go, why bother? Let me just dress for work. I'll go into work and write jokes all day. But then you go, so you got to change into sweatpants and a thing. I know it doesn't sound like a big deal, but it is to me because you probably love that. That's like that's probably like going out. You love working out, right?
I just love breaking a sweat, but sometimes it's hard. You got to get into a routine.
I do not want to break a sweat. I'm so good watching anyone else do it. It's so good. I'm like, but I've been trying to do a half hour. And so I do a half hour there, and then I come into work at probably around 10:30.
Okay.
I'd say 11 o'clock the latest.
Mm-hmm.
I usually take whoever phone calls I owe or have to call that day, people, agents or publicists or whatever. And then 12:15 is our creative meeting. So at 12:15, a bunch of producers come in and writers. And
How many?
I'd say 6 people.
Okay.
They come in and they have like a stack of papers with ideas of who's coming on. Like we knew you were coming on a couple months ago, so we're trying to think of ideas for you. Like, what should we do with Alex? Should we do a lip sync battle? Should we do a game? Should we do a true confession? Should we do we try to think of the most fun things. We ended up with Q and A-Rod, where we just asked you.
That was fun.
Ask you random questions. Okay, good. That was good. So we try to do something different, and as a guest, like we don't force you to do anything. Like you come on, we can just talk. It's totally fine. You don't have to play a game. It's up to you. I just want to make it fun for you guys, and
always fun, never
whoever comes on.
pressure.
That's the way. That's the way we always were and always are. And so we go.
When
through,
you're in these production meetings, are you thinking like, okay, that feels good? Are you kind of chiming in? You're also kind of writing a little bit.
Yeah, I'd say like, oh no, we know it's a good idea. We should do blah blah blah. I know that he loves TikTok.
Right.
Let's maybe do another challenge or blah blah. Or like, oh wait, I just saw them do or someone. We all get inspired off each other. Like yes, we should do this that or God, I'm trying to think of a new idea for you. I can think of A-Rod. I can just try to think of it right now. If you want to maybe change your name to Lexo. That's you want no one to call you A-Rod anymore. So now we have to reintroduce you as Lexo, and you're now I don't know, and now you have a different outfit. Like maybe we style you how we think Lexo would dress. Like trust me, Alex, A-Rod's the thing of the past. No one does A-Rod anymore. Lexo is the new guy that you have to be. And I give you like a shiny purple suit with
I like it.
You wear like a space helmet or whatever. Like these are dumb ideas that you would pass on, but whatever. We had an idea once. I just got reminded because Mayor Bloomberg was on our show, and his people said, "Do you remember a Tank Top political talk show?" I go, "I do." Oh my gosh, no one remembers this, and I forgot we even aired it. But we pitched him years ago, doing a bit called Tank Top political talk show where we had a bunch of politicians and pundits in mesh see-through tank tops, and we'd have a serious discussion about politics. So dumb. And we got a letter from his people saying like, "Dear Mr. Fallon, thank you so much for considering Mayor to be part of this sketch. Not only is he not doing it, we didn't even show him this idea. He will never, ever be seen on television in a see-through tank top. But thank you so much for even considering it. But he has no idea that you pitched this idea. And I think we framed it because it was such a nice rejection.
Right.
But we just call it any dumb idea because you never know. It might spark something.
Yeah.
So we spend probably about, I would say probably an hour there, maybe creative, probably till 1:30.
I'd imagine that's like your favorite part of the day, right? I mean, being creative and being able to pitch ideas to each other and throw things around. Or you still get into it like you used to at SNL? Or
it's
is
okay.
it
That
more
part of
a
the day is
boss?
it's okay.
Okay.
I actually like more of a freedom thing. Like the show is the most fun of the day.
Okay.
That one's okay. I mean, there's good days and bad days.
Yeah.
Some days like some days like every idea is awesome. We got to do that, and it's really just. But it's like planning ahead.
Yeah.
So that we're prepared. Then I eat lunch, which is this new guy that I'm getting lunch sent to me.
Yeah.
So today I had
give me that number. That sounds great.
pretty awesome, by the way.
Yeah.
And today I had like some awesome kind of chicken meatball salad thing. I was like, all right,
We'll get Ashley. I
Pretty
love
good.
that.
do right.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Check out it's awesome, and really it's delicious. I wouldn't just say it. It's really good because I've had bad ones where you're like,
Me too.
I feel like there's no love put in this.
Right.
There's love in this one. And so then I probably then I usually call my wife, check in, see how she's doing, what's going on, because we live in the day of age now where no one has any alone time. You have to be in everyone's life of all time and know what they had for lunch and how their day was. And then I have a meeting at 3 is the monologue meeting. We go through all the jokes of the monologue, and I cut to that. And then if we have other ideas that we didn't talk about in creative or video pieces or something, we'll talk about that. Like today, I had to do a thing with Haim, who's a great band, but we did like a quick music video thing where we went during the day. When we did our dance off, was that during the day?
Yeah, like morning.
Yeah, so sometimes we do
Mid-morning.
pre-tapes in the morning. If you ever saw me and Alex did a full-on hip-hop class, which, man, I thought I looked so cool when I was dancing.
Yeah.
And I watched the tape back. I was awful.
You were
Oh my
great.
God, no,
You were
I was so
great.
stiff. Oh my, I couldn't even look at it. It's so bad. I go, I thought it was so cool, man. And I'm really bad. Anyways, but so sometimes that puts a little wrench in the day because you have to add different things. And then I go take a shower, get a suit on, hair and makeup. Then I look at cue cards for the monologue, rehearse that a couple times. Lauren comes in to the green room, say hi. He would come in today, but Lauren's always in the hallway.
Yeah.
This is the SNL is a week off, so I don't think he's around. And so then we joke around, and then I say hi to the guests before the show. Thanks for coming. I go out and start the show around
Awesome.
5 to 6. Usually, hopefully, we're done by 6:10, and then usually editing. So they're editing the show, and I'll go in and just go, hey, I stuttered. Like I think the last time I had you on, I called you an analyst instead of an analyst. I said you were an analysis, which makes no sense. But at least I didn't call you an anal cyst.
Yes.
So then you would never talk to me again.
I've been called worse. I've been called worse.
But I was like, dude, but we couldn't cut it out because you already walked out by that point. I'm like, oh, you already walked out of the curtain. I can't redo it. I'm sorry, buddy. And I don't want to make you stay longer than you have to.
Oh,
But you know
good.
we love you.
So doing the show, and you've been doing it for so long, do you know when you're like, all right, that was an unbelievable show, and when there's most days where it's like, all right, we did it, it's good, it's fine. It's because some days you just have to do the show, and it
Sure.
might not hit it out of the park. You hit a home run every single day. Do you still have that feeling of like, this one's going to resonate? This clip's going to go on YouTube and pop. This is going to be a soundbite that everyone picks up.
Sometimes you do, but sometimes you don't. I think most of the times you don't. Like some things will just pop, and you go, wow, why is that one going viral? I don't even know that was like, I'm trying to think of a recent example, but I think we had an interview with Joaquin Phoenix that went viral. We didn't do anything that different. But I mean, that went viral. Like it's rare to see an interview go viral,
Right.
On for a late night show. It's usually a bit you did or some pre-taped thing. Or that was I think our third interview that went viral throughout the year. And I go, it's pretty fun to see. Like I don't know why people wanted to see that one, but they wanted to send it around to people and they thought it was fun. So I go, cool.
Now, as a creative person, because I deal with this in like my day-to-day job, do you have those lulls where nothing is hit for maybe a week or two?
Were you asking for a compliment?
No.
Because I would say you're very creative.
No. I'm not as creative as
No,
you.
you're very
but
creative.
Yeah, I am very creative. I'll do like a week or two.
Tough
where,
crowd.
No, but you have a week or two where nothing really hits, and you start getting that
Are you
itch.
talking about you again?
Yeah, well, you too. I mean, you're more like a month.
let's go back to
2
you, though.
months where you don't have anything.
Let's go back to you.
So
How
what?
about you've never gotten a hit? So what happened? do you think about doing something else?
What do you do though if you have that like 1 or 2 weeks where you're like, hey, nothing's really caught on to that viral point, or do you feel like, hey, we got to do something, we got to change something up, or do you just let it like, hey, we'll eventually get back to there?
Yeah, I think you just got to keep doing what you do and not worry about that stuff. And you're like, if that happens to work, it works. You just keep doing different things and keep changing and going like, yeah, I know I could probably do this, but I did that already. I mean, I could do a lip sync battle with you and it'd go crazy, but we've done that.
Right.
I mean, our show's done that. So it's
Right.
like, I don't want to keep doing the same thing. It's not just because it's a viral hit, like in quotes. It's like,
Can I tell you which was one of my favorites that you did? It was so much fun. I've watched it like 20 times, and I watched it with Jennifer. It was the one that I don't know what the hell I'm gonna box the name of it.
Yeah.
But you guys were trying to do like the washing machine, and she was imitating you, and she would go into that thing was unbelievable.
That went viral
I mean, crazy.
And I
It
remember-
was so much fun, and she loves it. I mean, she loves you. She adores you.
Yeah, every time she comes on, I go, oh, do you mind doing this? And we end up doing this whole thing. She's like, I don't know why I do this for you. Any other show, I just come on, but you, we always end up doing a giant routine. We're doing a dance battle. And so all we give you is the title. We don't give you the dance. So you go, all right, here we go. Do the washing machine or whatever.
Yes.
And dude, she did this dance that was, of course, she's going to be amazing, but she doesn't know what the words are. We actually did surprise her. So she did this swirling around washing machine thing that was awesome. And I want to say you guys were at a game or something the next night, and they played that on the jumbotron.
That's awesome.
And the crowd went crazy. It's like, but that was a good move. But sometimes you do things that you don't know it's going to pop, or is this going to be a good bit? Or sometimes you take a big giant swing. It's really full production, and you go, no one really cares. You go, really? No one cared about that? I thought that was so topical and whatever. But I mean, I've had so many things that flop, but so many things that work. I think the point of my thing is keep your head down, and things just start popping. And
Have you guys changed at all, like, with the YouTube obviously becoming huge, Twitter, Instagram, have you changed at all where you're trying to write for the internet more and less for TV?
no, but I think we've always written kind of being friends with the internet and supporting social media.
Yeah.
From day one.
Yeah.
Late nights. So we never changed. That was our thing from the start. We always have done that. I think if you start looking for that, it's a different game. I think it's a different medium. And I think there's people that are really good at just that. I think that we've been lucky to do our thing, because at the end of the day, you just kind of want to chill out, relax, watch a show, and go like, that was just, it's comforting. It's like having your, chicken soup for the soul. You go, oh yeah, I just want to see him talk, and you make funny jokes. I don't want to think. That's why I think a lot of these reality shows are giant hits, because you go, it's kind of mindless television. You go, I love it.
Right.
I don't really have to think about The Bachelor, but I guess I can think about Pilot Pete. And if he's, Hannah B is leaving, gonna fight Hannah R, and then Hannah H doesn't like, Hannah D, and you go, there's like 20 Hannahs in the show, and they're all entrepreneurs. It's fantastic, but it's great TV, and I love it. I'm a fan of that stuff.
Yes.
My last question is, I love that you wrote these books for kids. It's so cool. Your first word will be Dada. That's one of the titles, and the other one, This is Baby. But, I love the books. I want to know what made you think of that. And like me, you have 2 girls. Yours a little younger.
Yeah.
I've learned so many lessons from my girls. Is there 1 or 2 things that your daughters have taught you?
Oh, man. It's just the innocence of kids is just the most amazing thing in the world. I remember, I wanted to write that Dada book because I guess it doesn't really, it is considered a book, but I'd say it's probably
it's a book. I read it this morning. I told you that. I read it this morning.
It's probably about 10 words in the whole book.
Those are my type of books.
It's more of a tweet.
Yes, yes.
Than a book. Either way. But it's it is there's an unwritten competition between moms and dads, as if the kid says dad or mama first.
Yeah.
It's not, you don't talk about it, but I go, there's nothing supporting this for dads out there. So I go, if you just keep reading the word dada, moo, dada, quack, dada, it's totally cheating. But it's like I was like that with my kid. I would give him a bottle and I go, do you want a dada? Do you want your? I don't care if the baby's dumb. They'll figure that out later on. I have to go to school. I go, but this way I get it for the history books. Dada was the first word, so it didn't work. It was mama, but the second one they said dada. But I think
nice.
I used my wife's help me out with that one.
I love it.
But I think as far as like. You know what really is it makes me like other kids more, which I never thought I'd do, because I don't want anyone hurting my kids or hurting their feelings or being mean to my kids, and I don't want them to be mean to other kids. But if I see anyone being mean or kind of not paying much attention to some other kid, I'll feel for them and bring them over and go, hey, come on, play with us. It's really changed the way I see it on the playgrounds. I go, hey, let's play with this kid.
That's so
no one's
cool.
playing with him, so it's really changed the way. And in a restaurant, if I heard a baby crying, or sometimes people be like, get that kid out of here instead. I'm like, let's go. I've been there. Give me the kid. I'll hold the kid. Let's go. Yeah. You enjoyed the meal. I'll take her for a walk around the parking lot. Come back with your kid. Which is crazy.
We're not going to air this till May. So we had everyone sign an NDA in this entire room.
Okay.
No one could say anything.
All right.
Tell us where Tom Brady's going.
Ooh.
We're not going to say it until May. But you were with him. Go ahead. He told you.
Well, he told me not to say anything.
Right, but we all signed an NDA. So
you won't air this?
We will not air it till May. So you'll look like a genius, like you knew, and you can be like, Jimmy obviously knew. He was on the know. So
he's going to the XFL.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
That would be incredible, wouldn't it?
He hate me.
He would hate you.
He hate me drafted.
The best.
Ignore the question.
The best. Could you imagine during the old school XFL when they ran and tried to dive for the ball?
What was the one that used to bounce the football off like a netting and you'd have to catch the ball?
That was arena football. The arena football was electric. He would put up
fun.
Crazy stats in arena football.
Jimmy, I want to say from Dan and I and Barstool, we thank you so much. You're the best.
You guys do good
father.
stuff.
You're a stud. You're
you don't
crushing
have to
it.
say that. You didn't mean that to me.
Yes, I did. I mean it. You really got to go to therapy.
Therapy.
Would you say? Let me just rip off a couple other random questions. Would you say dropping out of college is a good idea?
No.
Okay. Well, I mean, look where you ended up.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
I'd say no. I'd go to college.
Okay. What makes?
I'm
I wrote
looking at
this
you,
one
by the
down.
way.
I thought this one was funny.
Did you drop out?
No, I didn't. I
Did
graduated.
you even go to it?
Yes, I did.
Sorry.
What makes A-Rod a bad guest?
He's a fantastic guest.
Yeah, that was a little trick question that we did there. I don't know if you realize what I did. Have you thought about doing LeBron hashtags for the hashtag game? Because LeBron has the best hashtags in the world. Like one of his last ones, this is a full hashtag. Just my thoughts coming from a sports junkie, regardless my own sport I play.
Gosh.
Can't be a lot of people who
How
use
many
that.
people follow you on Twitter?
About to be 1 million.
And how many friends do you actually have?
Hank?
Wait, Hank doesn't count. Hank already gave it.
Hank,
He's giving me the no sign.
A-Rod, when I see him, although I texted him on Friday, he did not respond. I consider you my friend now. I will tell everyone that we're friends.
Now we're friends.
Therapy.
Yeah.
Jimmy,
Jimmy,
thank you so much. You're the best, brother.
Bye, guys.